And Congressman, I was told that you might have an opinion on the audit of the Maricopa County voting machines. We have learned that even the process to secure an auditor has been less than transparent. What do you know about this, and what do we need to do to ensure that everything is as honest as we can hope?
Well, James, the Election Advisory Commission are the people that certified the machines beforehand, and they're going to be involved in this audit. That means that it's probably not going to be an independent forensic audit, and I think that's what we really want, is we want an independent forensic audit. Now, they're certified by somebody, so that's the rationale for using them. So I'd say, okay, if you're going to use a certified, and you're using that group, believe me, you can subcontract out or contract out with additional truly independent forensic auditors who can come in and audit those machines. And that's what I've been asking for almost 3 months now. Because, James, what you really want is, if you had no problems here, and if this was the best election ever, then it would be transparent, wouldn't it? And you would just say, you would have done this 2.5 months ago. You said, let's have the audit. That's the key here. And so we need to inspire our legislators, let your voices be heard. The legislators and particularly the legislative leadership, they need to know that they can go ahead and contract with an additional body to do this independent forensic audit, which will actually, as I said all along, if there's nothing wrong with it, if it was perfect, as you said, if it's full of integrity, etc., then you'll put this to bed. If there was a problem, we can find out what those problems were. We can make corrections and go forward. But the problem is they've waited so long, and now people are going to be very skeptical. And why wouldn't they be? It's been hide the ball for 2.5, 3 months now.
I agree with you.
Shame.
I agree with you. We have one of the supervisors saying that this was administered with integrity. But as you just said, you've been asking for the audit to happen for the last 3 months. If this were with integrity and we really wanted the people to be confident, we wouldn't drag it out like this, and we wouldn't even make the process so murky. We have Congressman Andy Biggs in the center ring of the conservative circus. We learned this morning that the machines used in Maricopa County, let me quote, just because the tabulation machines were not physically connected to the internet does not mean Bluetooth or even wireless connections weren't somehow engaged, end quote. The reality is, with these sort of systems, we might never know if anyone got in and got out. So how do we restore confidence in such a shaky system, Congressman Biggs?
Well, the first thing you always do is you have transparency. You open up the books, or in this case, the machines, and all the documents that go with it, and you get an outside entity to come in and conduct an audit. That happens all the time in business and in the real world. You have auditors. You have people who, that's what they do for a living. They are auditors. They go in and they audit books and make sure that they're running well. That's what you would do here. And that's why so many of us have said for so long, why not just audit it? Let's just audit it, find out what happened, and let's do it sooner. Make sure that nobody has access to the machine so they can tamper with them post hoc or after the election. And let's just get it done. But now we're sitting 2.5, 3 months out, and now there's debate going on yet about who's going to do this audit, and they got to be certified. And okay, they got to be certified. But you can also bring in people who are skilled in this, that are familiar with this information and how this works, and they can go in. They're experts, and they can conduct an independent audit. And if we want to restore confidence in the election and make sure that we have election integrity, why wouldn't you do that? Why haven't we done that?
Congressman Biggs, we're looking at what's happening in Washington, D.C. right now. It looks like the Democrats have successfully removed President Trump from office. Okay, and now there is a bum rush going on of executive orders ramming things through. And I would rather see things go through Congress. But, you have a lot of folks who said, President Trump did the same thing when he was in office through executive orders. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think President Trump tried to work with Congress. Here, there doesn't seem to be any type of working at all. It just seems to be a support handing over their power and authority to the new administration. Did I get anything wrong in that?
Well, no. I mean, here's the way to think of it. Biden has signed 37, I believe it's 37 executive orders, including, by the way, you can't say China or Chinese virus anymore, China's flu. You can't say that by one of his EOs. But he's done more in his first, 10, 12 days than any president. In fact, the last 5 presidents combined did. The last 5 presidents, I believe the number is something like 7, 8, something like that. He has done almost 5 times as many in a short period. That's not, and he's the guy who said, if you're doing a bunch of executive orders, you're not doing it. You're not. This is no longer a democracy; it's a dictatorship. He's the guy who said that, and so it's really problematic what he's doing.